Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. My name is Amanda. I am a part-time reseller. I am here in Orlando, Florida, and I love Disney, and I am wearing a little oversized because it's all they had and I wanted it so bad, my grape soda shirt. And we're going to Magic Kingdom right after school today. It's the last week of school, and so we're taking our kids 2 days because why not? So I have a haul for you today. Those of you that are resellers, do you ever just look at your pile of unlisted inventory and get completely overwhelmed? Don't know where to start. Like, I've got a pile of stuff that's already been photographed and bagged, needing to be inventoried and put away, like an absurd pile that needs to be photographed. And so you know what I did instead? I decided to go sourcing and thrifting, and yeah, because I didn't want to deal with what I already have. So, hey, you know, whatever. Sourcing is the best part, right? So as long as I get to it eventually. So I wanted to share with you guys what I got. Now I will tell you that I have it's so much easier to me when I just kind of take an average cost of goods for all of my items. So I'm going to show you 21 items, and my average cost of goods was quite high. You will see why. But so for some of the items, it is going to seem like, dang, that's a pretty high cost of goods, but it's going to average out in the end once all of these things sell off, obviously. So my cost of goods is going to be $13.64 per item, and it's from a regular thrift store. This thrift store does tend to mark up certain brands. It's not like a Goodwill where all the shirts are a certain price and such. So it's, you know, sometimes you find treasures that they don't know that that's a good brand, but for the most part, they're pretty good at, you know, pricing things higher. But for the average person, if you were just going in to look for things for yourself for personal use, they're still really great prices. And what I got today, obviously I wouldn't have picked it up if I didn't think I could make a profit. So let's just jump in. I picked up these North Face boots. These are men's boots. And I've said before, being in Florida, these are like snow sort of related boots. They never have wear because they were probably picked up and worn on a vacation. So these are a men's size 11. All right, these are some kids' shoes. I thought they were so cool. Sorry, I'm a little blurry. They're Adidas, but I've never seen any like this. They say like a National Lab Boost in Space. I don't know, I have not looked them up. It's just one of those things. I figured if the comps weren't so great, they're a youth size 5. My son is like a 4 right now. I would hang on to them if they weren't worth anything, but I just thought they were a really cool looking color. This is a brand that I hear about often, and people love it or people hate it. I have sold it. I have picked up, it is Donald Pliner. I have picked up this brand once before and it sold super fast for me. So what I have found by watching other YouTubers, it's like anything else, it just depends on the style. And honestly, the more weird looking things I come across, like those tend to be the ones to pick up. So these are just some, what I find interesting little, I don't even know what you would call these, but they're in new condition. And they're like mixed materials, or like 3 different types of material up here, and they are a size 8, and they're called the Cloud. So I don't know, worth my average $13? Maybe, maybe not. I don't know. Will I be able to recoup that at least? I'm sure. What I sold was a pair of like flip-flop type sandals that sold for nearly $30. So, all right, now I'm gonna get into more than a couple of things. This is the reason my cost of goods was so high. I stumbled across a plethora of Lululemon, however you want to say. And I'm excited because they are all bigger sizes, 8, 10, 12, and some of them are in new condition. Some have been a little worn. So they had, like this one was $9 because it does show a little more wear. Some were 22, 24, some were 16. That's kind of why my average ended up being only $13.64. So I'm not gonna like take the time to show you every single one of them. What I do wanna say is when you find this brand, if I can't very easily find the size dot, then I'm gonna pass on it. And they had about double than what I'm gonna show you, but for such a high cost of goods, I wanted to be sure that it was either something I'm going to keep for myself, because I will probably keep 2 or 3 of these for myself and sell some of the older ones that I have. But there is a website, Lulu Fanatics, where you can find the original like stock photos, what the item went for, when it came out. People often overprice Lulu that came out 10, 20 years ago, you know, so it's important to know it. And I will say none of mine are brand new pieces, but on the newer stuff, the size dot has little numbers around it. And that's how you know it's going to be much newer. And Google Lens helped me with most of these. There was a chair they had for sale. I just laid these flat, snapped a photo. If you're not using Google Lens, you're wasting a lot of time. It's been the best thing ever. I actually found a couple that were new with the tags. So of course, I think I got 2 that were new with the tags are the ones that I want to keep, but that's okay. A great deal. I mean, $24 for a brand new bra is pretty great. All right, I'm just gonna go through these quickly because I found a few, like I'd never seen some of these styles before. This is kind of more the typical, what I usually find. So almost all of them, I don't know, like they're not all new. So I don't know if they were all donated by the same person. They are very similar in size. So I don't know, but I was more than happy to come across this little honey hole of Lulu bras. So there are those. And this particular thrift store has colors of the week. All of these were one same color. So I'm going to pop back in there. I think that their colors change on Sundays and just see if maybe that happens to be the color of the week and if there's anything left. I did find a couple pairs of capris, and they had all of those listed at $25, which I don't, unless it was ones I wanted, which they weren't, that to me, that wasn't worth the flip. And it's funny how they price things, right? Many of those bras were on average like $18. And then I found this hoodie that they only priced at $11. So I'm not sure who was in charge of their pricing that day, but this is the very thick quality. It's got a little bit of wash wear, but I thought this was a really, really great pickup. And the best part is it still has the hang tag. So I didn't even need to worry about finding a size dot. And it's a size 10. Anytime ever really that I found this brand in the wild in my stores, it's typically the 2, 4, 6s, which I feel are most easily accessible. I'm like an 8, 10 in this brand, and when I search their clearance and such, those are kind of the harder sizes to find because I'm what I consider average size, like a medium large-ish, you know. So anyway, I found that like it's so funny once you have been doing this for a while. And I've been buying this brand for years, you start to feel it. So I was going through the shirts, and as soon as I felt this one, I immediately knew, you know, obviously didn't have the hang tag, that this was going to also be. So this is just a really cozy shirt. Okay, so that's the reason for my cost of goods increasing. I don't know, would you have picked those up for those prices? We'll see. I will tell you that last week I sold a bra for $45. So, all right. The next item is this really cute little girl's Lily Pulitzer dress, and it is my daughter's size up, and I do have the mommy match to this dress. So this one's probably going to be kept, but I still like to show you because I like to show you what I find in the thrift stores. If you ever see Lily Pulitzer, guys, pick it up, even if there's stain on it. I have a dress I just found recently that has been soaking overnight in a little bowl on my counter of OxyClean. Like this one does have, I don't know if you'll be able to tell right here, there's some staining. It always happens on the ones that have the white OxyClean soak. We'll get it right out and it will not hurt the bright colors. All right, a couple more pairs of shoes. This was a great find for me. These are some Ariat boots, and I will say one thing that I can't stand about this particular thrift store is they put they don't put things on the seams sometimes, so they rip holes in items. So I'm gonna have to see about this one, or obviously I'll disclose it if the hole stays there. But I was just excited to find these because overall they're in really great condition. I will clean them up a little. And if you've been watching my channel for any length of time, you know that I kind of have a weird obsession with cleaning shoes, like just seeing how I can bring them back to life. So these are a prime suspect for my Doc Martens Wonder Balsam, and I'm like really excited to clean these up. So these are a women's size 9. which I think is a pretty great size. And usually, there's a brand on there. No, it's inside. Usually they mark this brand up. Oh, there you go. And they really didn't on these. The price on these was $14. So, all right, I got these just because I thought they were cool myself. This is, I think Converse did like a Pride line, and there were several different ones. These obviously need a magic eraser, but they're just a little bit dirty. They're not worn. I love the laces. I think they're so cool. They are a men's 12. It says men's 12, women's 14. Is that right? Anyway, so yeah, a really great big size. And I just thought they were really cool, so I picked them up. I will say that the comps aren't amazing on those. They're more so on the striped ones, but I got them anyway. All right, this is a brand you hear me talk about all the time. A pair of Vionics in great condition. And this shop, they price some up and others they don't. There's no rhyme or reason. And at least these, I was thankful they put the tag through one of the holes. Sometimes they literally, like there was another pair I wanted and they stuck the tag right through this, meaning they were gonna leave a hole right in the leather. I hate that. Does anyone else's thrift stores do that? And the other thing they do sometimes, they did it on these boots and I have to literally get pliers to pull it apart. And sometimes they do this on items and it leaves holes in them. And they put staples in the clothes. Anyway, it drives me nuts. So these are a women's size 8. I have these shoes in a different color and they are so comfortable. I'm telling you, if you have any kind of back problems, I've had back problems my entire life. If you have not tried Vionics, I should be a spokesperson for them. I love these shoes. My husband and I both wear them. And this was not included in my total. I've picked these up for my son. My kids' shoes their feet are just growing so crazy right now. They're just a really cute pair of reef sandals. So I think he will like these. So yeah, $13.64 a piece. So I have got some cleaning to do. I've got to wash these bras and hang dry them everywhere. The one thing that I can't stand with most of these bras is they have the pads inside, which I'm glad they have them because they sell better when they're included. But my gosh, you have to like stuff them back in and it becomes this whole chore in itself. And I only hang them to dry and all of that. So I'm excited. I love when I come across something. And then when you find one good piece, you're like, oh, that's awesome. And you keep going and you find the second one. You're like, okay, now I've got to look through everything because then you just imagine this person donated their entire wardrobe, which in this case, I don't know. I just kept finding more and more. So anyway, thank you guys for watching. I hope you're having a wonderful, are we in the last week of the month? Almost. I've got one kid done with school. So he's home, he's out on the lake catching minnows. He's feeding his turtles. My girls have through Friday. We're going to Magic Kingdom today. It's early day. I love Wednesdays. And Friday, we'll be heading to Epcot to celebrate around the world for the last day of school to kick off summer. So I hope you guys have a wonderful rest of your Wednesday, and I will see you in the next one. Bye, guys.